All right, guys, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but here we are anyway, because the nation, unfortunately, doesn't have time for me to wait until I get better. So let's just keep doing shit anyway. Let's just keep talking about stuff and keep getting things banned and keep getting things shadow banned and keep getting things demonetized. Let's just keep doing it. Why not? Why not? Police take pro-migrant protest to asylum hotel. So now it's out. Now everyone's talking about. I think I was one of the first YouTubers to talk about this. So credit to me. Everyone give me credit. Actually, it's complete bullshit. I think I got this from Tommy Robinson. I think that was the first time I saw this. He was the first person to link the video of the police walking along, marching the police up to the protests, like they've been doing for years now. Finally, people are talking about it. Finally, people are admitting it, because as I said in my previous video, there's no smoking gun until there's a smoking gun. So in other words, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's a conspiracy until, holy shit, yeah, okay, it's happening. Yeah, it is happening now. But it's not a big deal. In fact, it's probably a good thing. And if you don't agree with that, then fuck it, we're just going to do it anyway. So police have admitted escorting pro-migrant protesters to asylum hotel in the days of the volatile demonstrations in Epping. So what happened in Epping was people got really pissed off with having migrants sexually assault their children, and they decided to mount a protest. And what the government did was, instead of addressing the problem, which is mass immigration with Islamic Bakabazi bastards into our country, instead of addressing that, they clamped down on the protesters. But what did they do first? They needed an excuse to clamp down, so they imported it. They rang up their NGO and said, yeah, look, well, there's a protest in Epping. We need a narrative here that's going to make us look like the good guys in the international media, not for the British, like we don't give a fuck about them. No, in the international media, we need to look like good guys. So can you just like send down like a protest group, like bust them in, get a police escort, get them right up in their faces, get them antagonized, and then when they kick off, we can beat the shit out of them and call them far right. Okay, no. I wish it was fucking false. I wish I was lying. I wish I was making it up. Honestly, I wish I was. It's mental. It's mental, right? Apparently, that's what happened. Fuck it. It's not even apparently. That is what happened. Now they're reporting on it. Now I can say this happened without saying apparently, because the fucking Telegraph have said it's true. So I'm allowed to say it now. Anyway, the point that I want to do like a collection of video clips that I've got together here, and this is just shit that I've seen, and I want you guys to see it too, just so you know, right? This isn't just a random guy on YouTube talking absolute nonsense. This is what's happening. This is what's happening, guys. This is what's happening. Get it through your... I know the people watching this channel think I'm talking about you guys, but I'm not. I'm talking about the people that are coming to this channel for the first time, that are probably seeing this stuff for the first time, have never experienced anything like this, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? That can't be real." Yes, it's real. This is what Indians think about coming to the UK.
Oh no, we're not planning to make anything better. We're planning to put...
I'll put my headphones on, because the echo is too much for some people. Apparently, your country's falling apart, but the echo on a YouTube video is just too much. So let's put the headphones on and let's do it again.
Then back to the Stone Age.
Hello, folks. I am the Shameless.
Sorry. No, fuck it. Let's just see what this guy says.
Berg, I hope you're doing well today. So today I want to share with you a rare moment of honesty from an Indian regarding the situation in the UK. So this is a clip with Gypsy Crusader and some random Indian fellow in the UK. And he confesses to Gypsy exactly...
Can I just say, it's not just some random Indian fellow. Because I've spoken to Indians that have said the same thing online. By the way, if you go on X, you can create your own chat room. And then people can jump in the chat room and say whatever they want. So an Indian fellow jumped in my chat room and literally said the same thing. So if it's a coincidence, that's a really weird coincidence.
Exactly why they're there and what their long-term plans are. So let's just take a look at that and see what you think.
I'm Indian, by the way.
Okay, what's wrong with India?
Nothing.
So why aren't you there?
Because we're here to take over.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're here in the UK and wherever else you guys go to
I don't know
conquer.
about
Wait, wait, no.
wherever.
You're
I'm talking
you want
about
to conquer.
England.
You want to conquer our countries, correct?
I'm talking about England. Don't
You want
start
to conquer
exaggerating.
England.
We are on the way there, yes.
Notice how he doesn't say Britain. He says specifically England. England, guys.
So as you can see here, this Tsar is completely unashamed about it. And, he feels entitled to it because of the history between India and Britain. But, as usual, they like to blame it on the entire collective. They like to blame it on all British people. They like to excuse their behavior by hearkening back to history and then use it to excuse treating the natives like shit. But as you can see here, he is not at all well-intentioned. Now, he's trying to act like, no, just England, sir, just England.
No, just England, sir. I just want your children, sir. Just want to take your country, sir. It's all right, sir. We're the biggest, brightest, sir. I never used to be like this, I promise, guys. I never used to be like this, but after being exposed to other people's views, other people from outside my country, I've now become incredibly racist. And it's not my fault. It is just understanding how racist other people are. And then if I remain neutral, that is a initial starting point at a deficit. You're starting at a deficit. Do you understand? If you walk around your life thinking, well, everyone's the same, everyone's super nice, everyone just wants the nicest thing for me and my country, and they just want to come here and just contribute, and they've got no alternative motive, right? If you think that, your starting point is at a deficit. Do you understand? You're already losing. Fucking hell. By assuming that no one has any ulterior motives, right? By assuming that no one's got ulterior motives, you're assuming that everyone's nice, and therefore your initial starting point in life is a victim, because people are not nice. They will do things that will benefit them and actually hurt you, and they will gain gratification from that hurt.
And, it's easy to spin that narrative because of history, but when you look at the fact that they're being distributed across the Western world, and a lot of them are acting really smug and entitled about it, and we are the lead human capital, sir, and, coming in trying to say how much better they are, oh, look at all this money we make, sir. Just the arrogance that drips off of them, and how much they talk shit about white people, not just the English. White people, writ large, they talk shit about us constantly. I think it's...
And this is what people don't understand, right? They call me racist, they call you racist, but these fuckers are racist, right? They're the real racists. They actually want to, exterminate you. They want your country gone. They want you gone. They want you gone. They're the real racists. I can't believe I've been indoctrinated my whole life to trying to give the entire world a chance. Right? Tried to believe that this multicultural experiment was maybe possibly real. And it wasn't. Because you can't educate one side while allowing the other side to fucking hate you. You can't do that and expect a balance. It's like you it's like you put in a boxing ring, right? And you're telling one person in one corner, hey guys, all you need to do is go over and speak to him and just tell him that he's a nice guy and that he's welcome in this ring, that you all just want to be friends, and that, the world's a really peaceful... the other guy just comes over and knocks you the fuck out, right? There's a big difference. That's how I feel the people of the UK have been indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated. We've been the guy, the loser, in the other side, in that corner, being told that we just need to talk to the guy. We just need to be nice. And the other guy just comes and knocks us out.
Cock envy, personally, but hey. But I don't believe...
I just want to say, this video is probably going to be kind of long, so get a cup of tea or whatever. I'm sure you've got eyes and you can see the length. But I have so many people in the comments going, I was watching your video, and it went on for too long. It's like, dude, you can see the fucking... It's right there. It's right fucking there. What are you doing?
believe him when he says that their intention is only to try to conquer the UK. I believe they want to take over everywhere they go. That to me is very clear. And even then he could harken back to, well, you know, this is...
I agree with that. And now he goes into a bit more racism, but I want to get to the next part of this. Here we go.
Well, you know, you guys, well, not you, but the British came to India and ransacked us, killed millions of...
We just stopped you from burning your wives, didn't we? We just stopped you from burning your wives and selling slaves. Sorry about that. We gave you infrastructure and railways and a legal system and an entire way of seeing the world that was different from just burning your wives. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, your country is absolute shite. It's the worst country in the world. Everyone that goes there immediately regrets it if they haven't already been graped. So, no, I see you. I see you.
Of ours, people.
So then that would mean it's about revenge. So it's about revenge.
Correct.
All right.
So,
wait, I know this guy is going to go in and basically give his opinion. I don't really want to hear that because mine's way worse.
So let me just play this out for you. So India is like a total shithole. So let's just say, wait a second.
The guy didn't even flinch. She didn't even flinch because he knows that's true. He's like, yeah, great, yeah, all right, that's true. Yeah, didn't even flinch.
Let's just say, for instance, for argument's sake, that you conquer the UK. How is that going to be better than where you guys came from?
Oh no, we're not planning to make anything better. We're planning to put them back to the Stone Age.
There we go. There we go. All right. Rishi Sunak, bit. You imported 250,000 of these motherfuckers into the country in 1 year. Whoa. And you were never even voted in as the Prime Minister. So you did that off your own back, or someone told you to do it. I don't really care. But we will see you soon, Sonny Bit. We will see you soon. Trump is arresting Obama for treason. Yes. Yes, we will. Oh, and I just want to say, there's a reason that the UK is getting flooded with immigrants that hate us. It's because of psycho women like this. And obviously traitors, don't get me wrong, traitors that hate the country, but psycho women as well. And what they're starting to realize is that we are really, really pissed off now, and we're not going to take their bullshit anymore. We're not going to listen to them say openly that they want to destroy our country, because we're going to get really, really angry, and they're going to get really, really scared, like this.
I just think it's really, really important for people to understand that there are no safe and legal routes for refugees.
Did you see that? As soon as a microphone's put in her face, she starts giving off the rhetoric. Immediately, like it's on cue.
To come to this country, this is the only way they can come here. It's on a boat to pay...
That is not the only way they can come here. They're being smuggled in through the airport, and the government just fucking let in 25,000 Afghans and all their families. It's probably 150,000 people through the airports. It's not the only way they're doing it. The government is colluding in this. You lying bitch.
Yeah, they've got the whole of Europe. Why should we put that burden on the rest of Europe?
But do you not think
we still have to take responsibility for the fact that we have a lot of...
Guys, I know, right? You're waiting for, like, why am I continuing this video? You're probably thinking, why are you continuing this video, right? It's not rage bait. It's not rage bait. I want to continue this video to show what's about to happen. And this is what's happening across the country. People are getting really tired of this. And these people. Watch.
A lot of stakes in the conflicts and the climate crisis that causes people to be refugees and have to come to another country. They're not choosing to leave their country, at their home, their children, their parents. Their
fucking children, you shouldn't count.
Shit herself. Look at her, holding her heart. Absolute fear. She's a sheep. She's a rabbit. She is an enemy of the United Kingdom. she's been manipulated, whether it's willingly or not willingly, she's been manipulated into thinking that refugees are somehow our problem. Somehow we need to hold the burden of the entire, I don't want to swear too much, hold the burden of the entire world in our hands and embrace all of these rapists and these Bakibazi bastards and these boat bastards crossing. Obviously, I am slightly annoyed. I've just watched a previous, I shouldn't do 2 videos in a I shouldn't do 2 videos in a row. I was quite wound up from the first one. I will try and calm down. She, without calling people names, I know you don't like that, right? It is something that I like to do. I like to call people names. Like, I do think she's a specky sheep, okay? But that's by the by. She is now scared of that guy shouting at her. What's she going to do when someone... Anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's going to demonetize my channel. The point is, these absolute losers are full of hot air. They think that they're right until they realize that they're wrong. I have a tweet somewhere, I'm not going to find it, but it was a guy that was saying more or less the same stuff as this girl. And then he showed a series of tweets where he changed his mind and then went, absolutely get rid of them all. And it was the timeline of a leftist realizing that they are full of shit. This girl probably might realize that she's giving a bad take after this. Again, watch the fear on her face when she's confronted by an Englishman.
Fucking children, you shouldn't cunt. Our children.
Excuse me.
Of this fucking race, you shouldn't cunt. Fuck off.
These are the people telling us that we should import these migrants into our country and they can't even handle bad language. And then we've got the government itself importing agitators to peaceful protests. Like I said, this is unacceptable, guys. The government itself is agitating the British, the English, the Scottish, the Welsh, the Northern Irish, nothing to do with the new British. The new British are a fucking secret, wonderful bosom buddy for some reason. I'm just tired of this, guys. Like, how many times does the government need to betray the people? I'm genuinely shocked by this. And then you've got the economic side of this. And I know I'm clipping a lot of stuff together here, guys, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The government is doing this in every small place. You know, the worst thing that you can do is to accept that nothing's happening. The worst thing that you can do is to accept that everyone is peaceful, everyone is nice, no one's trying to hurt you, no one's trying to destroy the country, no one is trying to do anything, it's all just happening by accident. That is possibly the worst take that you could have. Someone, somewhere, has to be evil, right? They have to be. Even the statistics will prove that not everyone is a good person. If you have a classroom of 30 kids, at least one of those little shits will be evil, right? They'll be the bully. They'll be the arsehole. Now imagine you've got a country of 70 odd million people. How many of those people are going to be good or evil?
Hey guys, it's Sasha. The UK government borrowed £20.7 billion in June, which was £3.6 billion more than they thought they needed to borrow. And it's the highest amount borrowed in June ever since records began, excluding 2020. The interest on government debt alone was £16.4 billion. And you can see the problem already. The government borrowed £4.3 billion more than just the cost of the interest on the debt that they already have. So they borrow.
I don't think he hammers this down enough. So imagine you borrow money from someone and you say, okay, well, if you're going to borrow that money, I'm going to pay you. You're going to have to give me interest. Let's say it's 20 quid and you give them interest of 2 quid. They can't afford that 2 quid. So they borrow money from someone else to pay you the 2 quid, but not the money that they owe you, just the 2 quid. And then the next time they borrow money from someone else and they give you that £2. They're never paying off the debt. The debt's getting bigger. They're just paying off the interest. And then a month later, the interest is £4. And they borrow money to pay that £4, but never, ever actually paying off the debt. Well, that doesn't sound good, does it? That actually sounds retarded. That's the government, guys.
Borrow money to pay for the interest on the debt, not to repay any of the debt, just the interest on the debt. And then they had to borrow even more just to pay for the day-to-day running of everything. In recent weeks, the UK government has tried to adjust a few small costs here and there in the budget, nothing major, but even then they had to do a U-turn on pretty much every one of those major
Keep going, guys, because he says something interesting very soon.
adjustments. Most recently, they tried to adjust a tiny portion of the welfare spending and then ended up going back on that too. And the problem now for Rachel Reeves is that after dallying around for over a year and doing absolutely nothing to actually get the economy growing, the problem is now getting worse every month that she continues to do nothing. Dear UK government, every month that you do nothing, which has been the policy in terms of for growth, nothing, you are making this problem worse, a lot worse. You have to take urgent action. And by urgent action, I mean you have to go and pass an emergency budget, like now, this week, maybe next week if you need a bit of time, with relatively significant changes to the direction in which you're going, or this whole thing is going to sink. The UK Parliament is due to break up on the 31st of July and go on a month's holiday. I know you probably take an entire month holiday if you work hard, but the MPs, they work so hard, they need a whole month off. The summer. Why would you work in the summer? Every single MP...
Sarcasm. Love it. Love it. Love sarcasm.
Every single member of the House of Lords gets to relax, not have to turn up in London for an entire month. The economy in the UK is imploding. Borrowing costs are spiraling out of control. We've had the biggest job losses since the financial crash. In some ways, they are worse than they were in the financial crash. And as per usual, the Parliament just decides to continue. Go ahead, take the entire of August off. Who cares, right? What the actual fuck is this? I just genuinely don't understand. If my business was failing...
And this guy's a foreigner. This guy's a foreigner, right? And he's saying this about the UK because he loves the UK. So he's welcome. In my eyes, he's welcome. He loves the UK. He's got problems with what's happening. And he's made a channel talking about this. And he's been talking about this for a long time. And he's been right many, many times. So when people say in the comments, what are you doing? What are you doing? You love the country, but you're not doing anything. Dude, I'm making a channel. I'm doing the best I can, all right? What are you doing? At least this guy's doing something, and he's a foreigner.
Right? If my business was financially in really, really, really big trouble, borrowing was spiraling out of control, I needed to borrow money just to pay interest on the money that I've already borrowed and then borrow a bit more just to pay the wages, right? If I was unable to pay my bills, there is no world in which I, as the person running the thing, would just go and take a month off and ignore the problem. So why are we okay with the government just fucking around and doing it? I don't.
We're not okay with the government, full stop. Absolutely full stop. We're not okay with the government at all in anything that they're doing.
Don't understand. But here is why this borrowing figure is a really big problem. Let me explain, because once you see why, you will be fuming. I'm sorry, but you will be like I am. And I can tell you now. So the latest forecast by the Office for Budget Responsibility was made in March this year. 4 months ago, right? 4 months ago, the people who work at the OBR, who pretend to understand finance, forecasted that the borrowing and spending for the next few months, for the next 5 years, would be whatever. They did the numbers, and they said that in 5 years' time, they forecasted in 5 years' time, the gap between what the UK will bring in through tax receipts and the money that would be spent by the government, excluding investment. I've talked about that before. But the difference between those two things over the course of an entire year would be positive, would be £9.9 billion positive over the whole year. You can see it in the chart in this report. So This is their forecast for what will happen in 5 years' time. And now just have a think, like, what is the error? And what is the actual likely outcome? Because we're now 4 months out from the forecast. Not 5 years, just 4 months out from the forecast. And in June alone, in 1 month, the UK government borrowed £3.6 billion more than in that OBR forecast from March.
So, the UK government has lied to you. They said that the projections for their spending were some fanciful figure, and they've already, in 4 months, went over the budget by £3 billion. So that's almost £1 billion a month. They're lying to you, and it's costing you £1 billion a month. So when they talk about a £22 billion black hole that the Labour government just fucking made up, well, it is actually going to be a black hole. There will actually be a massive budget deficit because the government is spending beyond their means. And when you understand the phrase managed decline, you will understand exactly what is going on. And now we'll move on to the fucking king, the king of Islam, the traitorous king, the traitor king. Let's have a look at this.
Loves you in the way that King Charles loves Islam. That's all I have to say. If you can find a girl who is as into you as King Charles is into Islam, then you're going to do just great, friends. You're going to have a wonderful life and you're going to get everything you ever desired. Because I just cannot understand for the life of me what his obsession with Islam is, but he's had this obsession for a long time. And I've got a couple of articles that talk about this, and maybe they're onto something. Because actually, weirdly enough, spoiler alert, he thinks that Islam is an environmentalist religion, it seems, but we'll get to it. Because the thing that really bothers me about this is, of course, Charles is the British monarch. Now, the problem with the British monarch is that he is the monarch of 16 nations across the world, and this has definitely given him a strange perspective on things, because he seems to think that all of the other places outside of Britain value him as their king as much as the British. And
I think this is the same problem that libtard had, that girl, right? They think that everyone's nice. This is their problem. He's never been punched in the face. He's never been punched in the face. I think if Charles was punched in the face at least once in his life, I'm not saying do it, fucking hell. I'm not saying do it. But if he was punched in the face at least once in his life, he might understand that people are not all good. They're not all good people. And sometimes ideologies are like getting punched in the face. And Islam is the punch in the face ideology.
in particular, the English do. Because really, what this is the English monarchy. And that's really how people view it. The continuation of the kings of the Kingdom of England. And so it's very galling when he seems to prefer every other people on earth to the English themselves, and every other religion on earth to Christianity itself. And honestly, there's a distinct feeling of treachery about this, right? Even though he is, as we say, an international king. Anyway, he said the other day that, it's more imperative than ever to understand the Muslim world. And it's like, well, I mean, we've had a lot of experience with the Muslim world at this point.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the Muslim world's shit. It's absolute dog shit. I don't want to understand dog shit.
Very little of it has been that positive. Personally, I can actually have done without being enriched by this culture, and I think many of its victims would have agreed with that too. But anyway, he's speaking. He's opened a King Charles wing of the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies. He's the patron of it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that in my previous video, that I was shocked that even existed. I didn't realize the king fucking made it. The king has done so many bad things to this country. He co-founded the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the absolute factory of devils. He fucking founded a factory of evil devils. What else has he done?
It was set up in 1985. I'm not sure if he personally set it up, but he's been a patron of it for a long time. And he gave a famous speech in 1993 talking about the West's misunderstanding of Islam. And of course, today he prayed.
We do not misunderstand Islam. We do not. Islam is a dog shit religion. Absolute bottom of the shoe, wipe it on the fucking grass, dog shit religion.
The centre's unfailing work, saying the centre's ongoing commitment to objective scholarship and international cooperation, underpinned by principles of dialogue, deep understanding, and mutual respect, is more imperative than ever in today's world. So what he's saying is everyone has to learn to understand Islam. What are the obligations being put on the Muslims? Where do the Muslims...
Zero. There's no obligation. In fact, there's a two-tier system in this country that makes sure that Muslims have absolutely zero culpability, right? Nothing is thrown at them. They are given every sort of leniency that you could possibly imagine in this country, and they still diddle our kids. And as we've seen with the Indian guy, by the way, Indians aren't getting off scot-free. You guys are both fucking... I don't want any more foreigners in the country. That's it. I don't want any more. I don't care if there's good ones. I don't care if there's bad ones. I don't want them anymore. Just get them out. Because I don't think the bad ones are worth the good ones. We've got our own good ones and bad ones. We've got to take care of our own bad ones. I don't want to import a bunch of people from different countries that have ulterior motives. I don't want this, guys. We've never wanted this. I'm very, very, very close to being too tired to really give a shit about what I say anymore. Let's have a look at the British Louder and see what he says. It's a short clip. I'm not going to play it all. It's like 10 minutes long. I'm going to play like a 30-second clip or something.
Klaus Schwab, the former leader of the World Economic Forum, personally manipulated data to make Brexit look like a disaster. Now, whether or not you think Brexit was a good thing or a bad thing is actually largely irrelevant. The point is that there was a conspiracy to convince you and to convince other European nations that Brexit was some terrible tragedy. And this ties in with something I've been saying for a while now. Britain has no allies. There is nobody out there who wants to help Britain other than the British people themselves. People like
And yet, we've got these stupid bitches. Where is she? Where is she? Go on, don't hide from me. Is it here? Yeah, this one. And yet we've got people like this, right, who are blind. She is a literal human hamster. She is a human hamster. No idea what she's doing, no idea what she's saying, no idea who she's saying it to, until the person that she's saying it to screams in her face, telling her to shut the fuck up.
Klaus Schwab and Ursula von der Leyen, and yes, probably even Keir Starmer himself, well, they would love nothing more than to see a post-Brexit Britain collapse and fail. So what exactly is this story? Well, it comes out of the Telegraph, and I'm going to read you a short section from the article. Klaus Schwab, the face of the Davos conference in Switzerland for years, allegedly intervened in the WEF's annual global competitiveness report, which ranks countries on productivity and long-term prosperity. In the 2017/2018 report, the UK's ranking improved from 7th to 4th. But Mr. Schwab, 87, wrote to staff that the UK must not see any improvement, as otherwise it would be exploited by the Brexit camp. The final report, published in 2017, showed that the UK had dropped one place to 8th.
So when you hear all those people on Twitter or in real life that say, well, Brexit didn't work, this is what you got for Brexit, right? Look at you, you stupid Brexiteer. Look how bad the country is now. And you're sat there thinking, well, number one, they never gave us Brexit. Not once. We never fucking had it one time. We were never allowed out the ECHR, and we were never allowed out of some economic bullshit as well, which means we never left. And now they're berating us, saying that it didn't work when everyone involved in the upper echelons of power tried their best to make sure that it didn't work. So, fuck you, Klaus Schwab. I hope you get cancer. And is that it? That's it. All right, I'm done then. I am super on the edge of being uncontrollably pissed off. Wow, that was too much. I'm not doing that again. If I'm going to... Right, I'm not doing the collection of videos anymore. It's too annoying. It's too annoying. Whoa, fuck, I can't. All right, I'm done. See you later.